Today we're going to be talking about the Brave browser, the BAT token, and the infamous Uphold. Boom, boom, boom. Stay tuned for more. Bro, fucking enough already, bro. I don't want to fucking hear it. I'm done. I don't want to hear it anymore. Uphold sucks, okay? The Brave browser is fucking phenomenal. I get it. But the whole ecosystem, the whole BAT token ecosystem, the whole thing with Uphold just sucks balls, okay? It just really does. I just swear, like I'm gonna make a fucking video about it right now. Shut up. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Look, they're making me spill my fucking coffee everywhere. Oh, hey guys. How's it going? You didn't see anything there, all right? Nothing happened, all right? Nothing happened. See? Nothing happened. We're good. We're friends. Anyways, how's it going, guys? And welcome back. Today is Tuesday, March 26, 2019. I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of an intro there. Today we're going to be talking about Brave, the BAT token, and Uphold. Now, I know in the past I already made an episode on this, talking about this stuff before, but I'm not gonna lie to you, ever since I made that episode and even after I uploaded it, I was not very happy with it. I feel and I felt like I was not able to really express the proper verbiage that I wanted concerning this whole situation. And so I put it in my notes, my show notes again, so that at some point in the future I can make another episode. Now, the reason I really haven't is just because it's like, well, I already made an episode, it seems to be getting pretty good traction and so on and so forth, so why, continue, why make another one? But I realized that the BAT token and the Brave browser are becoming, kind of like everyday talking points when it comes to the crypto space, and I have a lot of problems with Uphold and that, with this project in itself, and so I decided, you know what, let me make another video on this, and maybe this time I can make it a little bit better, more concise type video. Now, the reason I'm making this video today, in all honesty, is because as I was making my second round of coffee this morning, literally, because I've been up since 4:30 doing a bunch of crap. By the way, if you're interested, check out my Instagram stories, check me out on Instagram, check me out there, and you can see exactly what I was up to. Now, now to go back to exactly why I wanted to do an episode today is because as I was making my second round of coffee, in the background I had a decentralized TV playing, and it just so happened that, and again I had no idea, I just kind of clicked and that's what it was, was doing. He just happened to be interviewing the CEO of Uphold, and I was like, oh hell no, perfect. And I just caught the end of the interview, but it didn't matter. I just went in there and I was already with a lot of energy, and I just went into that chat room. And by the way, Peter, if you're watching, I love you. I love everything you do at Decentralized TV. I'm really happy with everything you're doing over there, the whole thing, everything about you guys. So this is not you. I'm not talking about you or you guys over there. You guys are awesome. Just about who you interview. And again, I do the same thing. I talk to and interview all kinds of polarizing people on all ends. So it's all about that, okay? It's just being non-biased and just laying out the facts and going from there. Now, again, I don't want to speak too much on that interview because I really didn't get to see the interview. I just got to see the end of it, caught the end of it. But I did go in there and like immediately, just me being upset, having this CEO of Uphold. By the way, this is what's also great about this new world. That again, the CEO of a corporation that you may not have, you may like or may not like. In this case, I don't like. You have, easy access. So literally, I saw him there, and I was like, Uphold sucks. I know, so mature. And as soon as I put Uphold sucks, I started getting some people in the chat that agreed with me. Then I decided to go a little deeper and say, well, why Uphold sucks? And again, I got a lot of people agreeing with me as well. So then I was like, So I went a little deeper and so on and so forth. And it seems that all the problems that I have with Uphold are not unique to only me. In fact, they're happening all over the place to all kinds of people, no matter what. even people that this shouldn't be happening to, that, would definitely meet KYC requirements without a problem. Now, so when I was in the chat room and just talking, someone out there said, hey, there's a way in which you can get your Brave tokens that you earn from the whole Brave situation, and there's a way to get those tokens and put them somewhere else in another wallet and so on and so forth. So the person said that in the chat room, and that was the end of the interview, and I was like, okay, well, fuck it, whatever, you know what I mean? So the interview was over, I got off of there, and so I went into like my Brave settings, into the Brave browser, and I started searching and looking around, and I couldn't find anything. There was no way. It was just as I thought, that Uphold is the only intermediary, the only wallet, the only anything, in which all your Brave tokens are being handled. All your BAT tokens, I'm sorry, I don't know if I said Brave. Okay. So, I gave it a go, you know what I mean? Because someone did tell me about it, so I was like, all right, whatever. So I couldn't find anything, so I was like, you know what, I'm not going to just give up. So I did some research, and I started doing Google search, DuckDuckGo, the whole 9 yards, to see if this was true or not. Well, guess what? The reality is that, hold on a second, just too much noise, always too much noise. Not getting the noise coming from somewhere else now. Anyways, so sure enough, I went on there and I wanted to see if I could find a solution, and I could not find a solution. So after doing a quick Google search and just internet search, I did come across a bunch of solutions, or a bunch of other people dealing at the very least with my problem as well, in many forms. Okay, because again, let's say someone in Africa wants to use the Brave browser, but they don't have any way in which to comply with KYC because they might not have an ID or an identification that is, satisfactory enough for Uphold to give them an account. Plus, on top of that, if you know anything about what Uphold really is, Uphold is the most expensive crypto exchange. They're very, very, they make you jump through like 100 hoops, even if you're KYC compliant. And they keep your information, and they do horrible things with your information. All this is public knowledge. Okay, because anyways, that's another story for another day. I'm not a fan of Uphold. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if it comes through in the video here or not. So, long story long, actually. After doing my research and doing some, deeper work on this morning, I realized that, there is no other option. Uphold is the only option. Okay? And how it works is that you can use the Brave browser. But if you want to use any functionality when it comes to, the BAT token ecosystem, you need to have a KYC compliant token, or KYC compliant wallet, or KYC compliant something on the other end. Again, I'm sparing you all the research and all this mumbo jumbo that comes with it, but long story long, there are people that were representatives of the Brave team, and they literally said that no matter what they do going forward, it has to be KYC compliant. So right now, Uphold is the only one that is not only KYC compliant, but is available for them to join with the Brave browser. So as I was doing more research, I found the thread, I found the information out there that Civic, the actual, that's another cryptocurrency token, cryptocurrency project, Civic. They have, by the way, who is Civic and what is Civic? Civic, I don't know too much about the project, but from what I understand, they are a one-stop, one-shop-all KYC compliant type thing. So for example, you set up your KYC with Civic, and then you use these Civic tokens or the Civic ecosystem to, again, use your KYC compliancy all over the internet and all over the world without having to reveal who you are, and to keep everything private and so on and so forth. From what I understand, I'm not a big Civic guy. But long story short, again, the Civic Civic has signed up a partnership. This is recent, like maybe a month or two. I signed a partnership with Brave so that now Civic can be another option, another wallet, another whatever. But again, even if Civic might be an easier option, it's still KYC compliant. It's still KYC. Okay, meaning that in order for you, and by the way, this is something that I read from the Brave browser, from the Brave representative, a Brave coder, whatever. Okay, someone working for the Brave team. They literally said that no matter what comes out, it has to be KYC compliant. So if Brave and the Brave browser are supposed to be privacy oriented, and they're supposed to be a private, browser and that whole thing, but in order for you to access your BAT tokens, in order for you to tip other users on the system, in order for you to again just use the BAT token ecosystem, you need to be KYC compliant. Then where is this whole privacy thing? You know what I mean? And then on top of all that, you have to use Uphold. Uphold, which happens to be the worst humanly possible thing out there. And I never thought I would say that because, I'm not a fan of other payment avenues out there. I'm not going to mention them. PayPal. But, and others out there. But again, there are Coinbase, so on and so forth. There's better options out there, and I'm sure there's even better than those. But yet they go with this thing called Uphold, which I've never even heard of. In fact, most people have never even heard of until you got to deal with this situation. And again, most people cannot even get an Uphold account. No, again, I thought that, I just couldn't get an Uphold account because of my, credit situation or my, banking situation history. But no, it turns out that there's all kinds of people, with all kinds of situations that are just getting turned down because the whole thing is faulty, messed up, and so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, all Uphold is doing is just getting all people's very sensitive information, and they're keeping it. And even if, like for example, I applied and they're keeping all my private information and they denied me. So what did I do there besides just give them my free information that if they get hacked, all of a sudden my shit's out there? So what exactly does Uphold do? Besides charge, again, it's like $5 or $4 per, per transaction on top of all these other fees. It's like, come on. So Uphold is no bueno. So what are they going to do? They're replacing it with another KYC. I feel like I'm going in circles there, but kind of again, long story long, literally the people behind Brave had said that the whole, in order for the Brave ecosystem, the way it's there, the way we have it today, in order for it to work, it needs to be 100% KYC compliant. And Brave, the only reason that has to be is because Brave itself, needs to comply with U.S. laws and regulations. Period, in the story. And so that's it. And so that's a problem, guys. This is why we need decentralization, and why when we have things that are centralized or corporate-owned blockchains or corporate-owned projects or corporate-minded and owned, crypto projects, again, look at Exodus Wallet. Okay, and now, the Exodus wallet, same thing as, I forgot what they use. They don't use Changelly. They use, but anyways, the other, what they use within Exodus in order to exchange things, they got to be KYC compliant. And we've talked about this many times where all of these things, if they decide that they want to, work in the U.S. or work in, in any kind of country and have some sort of like home base and have some sort of structure, then they would need to adhere to these laws, and if they don't, they're gone. And that's why I keep saying about, when I talk about near zero marginal cost, when I talk about the future and all of these things, because the reality is, in order for Brave or a thing like Brave to succeed and be like an actual thing that makes an impact in people's lives all over the world, literally what needs to happen is that someone out there in the netherworld, in the nether fucking regions of the internet, has to get Brave. They have to fork it. Now remember, Brave is the protocol. They're an open source project. So someone needs to, again, copy paste Brave, okay? Give it no ownership, meaning, again, just like Bitcoin, release it into the wild and let the people have it. And then when it comes to the payments, whether it's the BAT token or whatever token they want to use, again, if there's no owner and if it's just released to the wild, then guess what? There doesn't have to be any KYC compliancy. Okay? Because it's use at your own risk. It's like BitTorrent or like Kazaa or Napster or what have you. and it's all straight peer-to-peer. But Brave, as it exists right now, is not peer-to-peer. Okay, Brave is extremely centralized, and in order for Brave to be able to, dish out payments and get payments, and just have, even though they're BAT tokens, there's these tokens that don't exist. They still need to comply with U.S. laws and regulations, and I'm sure laws and regulations throughout Europe and the rest of the world. And that's the only way that that's going to function. Again, but the only other alternative is for someone to create something and just release it out there and not expect any money or profit from that project. But again, we have a very far way to get from point A to point B. Right now, everyone's still like, hey, what am I getting for my efforts? What am I getting for my money? What am I, I'm building this project, but what's my payday? And when people, if we still have that same mentality going forward, then we're not going to fix anything. Everything is going to be exactly the same. Only we're going to be on the blockchain, but again, it's going to be a fucking General Electric blockchain, or a fucking FedCoin blockchain, or another bank type of thing. Going forward, people within the space, we have to create projects that are for the people, in which we're creating open source protocols, projects, and so on and so forth, so that the people can have at it. So again, if Brave is, if there's a copy of Brave, let's just call it Brove, okay, and they put it out there, and Brove, instead of using the BAT token or Civic or whatever, Brove can literally use Bitcoin or Litecoin or whatever, and since there's no point of failure, there's no centralization, all the government can do is try to shut it down, try to shut down to this, try to whatever. But again, if Brove, okay, with this new ecosystem of and using something like Bitcoin or Litecoin or what have you, all these things that are already decentralized and unable to be stopped by the man, by the banks, by the system, by the government, well then, there you go. You already kind of built it. And even if they try to attack it or bring it down, they can't. Look at what they've done with Bitcoin. They haven't done shit. They've done damage, and they've done their thing. But at the end of the day, they're not going to be able to defeat Bitcoin. They're not going to really be able to defeat all this technology. So the same thing needs to happen to Brave. So what we're watching with Brave right now, what we're witnessing with Brave, is just, this is the first ever browser that pays you, that is supposed to be private, they're supposed to do all these awesome things that we want in the future. So how all this progress really works, okay, remember, you can go back as far as the wheel and fire, but this is how all this shit works. Someone invents it. So right now, Brave was invented, and it was invented by the guy that invented JavaScript or some shit like that. So again, that's why it's so awesome. But now we've hit a snag. Now we understand that, again, the banks are still we are still the bitch of the bank. We still have to comply with what they, demand. And if we don't do anything of the sort, then guess what? We can't function in this new economy. We can't use this new economy. So obviously we already know that that's not going to work. So eventually someone's going to come out and create a brand new Brove and release it to the wild, and then people, like someone starving in Africa, someone in India, someone here in Mexico, someone anywhere, can now use the Brove browser, okay, use all its functionalities, and at the same time, people can, donate to me. I can, cash in these Brove tokens or Bitcoin or what have you, and everything is all working symbiotically. And why? Because there's no middleman. There's no central point of failure. There is no centralization. In fact, it's all what? Decentralized. That's right, decentralized. And that's where we need to go. So whenever I see, when I see things like Uphold and what's happening with BAT and what's happening with all this right now, the reality is that I just see the sea of change. I see that, again, this is the first ever thing like this, and we love it. We the people love it, just like the first smartphone. So now it's our job as the community to make improvements on it. So again, first of all, most people don't see that Brave or any of these, or Brave, BAT, or Uphold need any improvements until you bump into these problems. And again, some of you guys that have your Uphold wallet, and you guys are like, oh, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Uphold is awesome, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, it's going to be awesome until you got to do your taxes in 2020, okay? And in January of 2020, when fucking Uphold sends you a nice fat, thing that you got to give to Uncle Sam and you got to pay up the yin-yang, trust me, you're not going to be very freaking happy anymore either, okay? Amongst a bunch of other problems. But anyways, so now it is our job as a community, now that we've seen this awesome project, the Brave browser, and how awesome this could be and what our future could be going forward, well, now it's our job to, again, deconstruct it and fix it and make a better version, make the real version in which we're all going to really use. Again, remember, guys, if these things don't happen, we would all still be using America Online right now. And we haven't used America Online in, God, fuck, I don't even remember. I think my mom doesn't even use America Online anymore. She probably does. I think she does. I'm just saying. So, and this is just a natural progression of all of these things, okay? Not just, in the crypto space, but in any technology and in any, space like this of innovation and improvement and invention and so on and so forth. All right? Guys, I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening today. I really needed to get this off my chest, and I'm just so happy that sometimes it works out like that and I'm able to spit it all out. I really do hope there's an improvement to the last Brave episode that I made, and you guys understand a little more as to what really is going on with Uphold and why Uphold is a piece of caca. All right, and even though we might have already a replacement coming down the pike with Civic, again, it seems like it might also be caca. So we don't know. And again, guys, please, I want you guys to leave some comments down here. I want you guys, I want us to all continue this conversation. If you guys have any insight on what's going on, whether it's, you guys are out there within your space, saying, oh, we're building the Brave replacement, or if you're out there and you have another way in which Brave can hook up with another wallet that's not Uphold, or if you know more information, or if you got your 2 cents that you want to add to this, please, by all means, put them down there. Okay, that's all I'm asking for you guys. Okay, I'm not going to be asking you guys to donate anything except for your 2 cents. I want you to donate your 2 cents, and how do you do that? Leave a comment below. Okay, so with that being said, I want to give a shout out to all my patrons, shout out to all my supporters, shout out to everyone in my community, shout out to all of you guys in our community, okay? And don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, please hit that bell icon, please follow me on Instagram and on Twitter and on everywhere else. And that's it, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for our crypto live stream. Peace, and thanks again for watching. Appreciate it. Listen, bro, I'm sorry, Lambo. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. I was just, I really didn't mean to scream at you. I was just trying to, do it for effect, for the camera. I was just trying to be funny and stuff. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I love you, brother. I love you, man. I'm sorry about that, all right? Oh, so you weren't really crying? You were just being a little bitch so I can hug you? Sorry. I didn't mean to lose my temper. I'm sorry. I love you, brother.